Hi, Siko Automobile here. So today I'll be showing you guys how to remove and replace the front brake pads and rotors from a Tesla Model 3. Why is the same principle with the exception of the performance. So grab a hammer and a punch. So we're going to be removing the pins, the slide pins that hold on to the brake pads. So, so that done, the next thing that you're going to do is to grab a pliers, to remove those push rods or pins or whatever you call it. So the next thing that we're gonna do is to yeah. So the next thing that we're gonna do is to grab a flathead screwdriver and a pry bar. So basically, what we're doing here is to free up the brake pad from the caliper. All I'm doing is to push it in. You know, the reason why I'm using the flathead first is to get, push it in. You see that? So once I make that space, I use the pry bar, you know, just to make sure the pistons are pushed in. So once that is done, the other side, I do the same thing on the other side just to make sure the brake pads are free, and the pistons are all pushed in. This shouldn't be the pistons shouldn't be, you know, a problem while going in. If it does not push in easily, then no, something is wrong somewhere. So I'm removing the brake pads right now, checking to make sure the pistons are all in. So the next thing I'm gonna do is to remove and replace the caliper. So the tool that you need for that is E18. So that's what I'm using right here. So I like to break it loose first before I using a gun to take it off. Making sure everything is good. The next thing is to take out the caliper, then grab a 10 to remove the brake rotor. So the next thing I'm gonna do is to clean, make sure everything is clean, removing the brake dust and wiping down everything. You know. So anytime you're doing this, make sure you wear your face mask so that you don't breathe all this brake dust. So I'm gonna clean more of the calipers to make sure there's no debris or whatever, you know. So the next thing is I'm gonna do right now is to install the new rotors. So as you can see right here on the combustion engines, most times you don't need on the combustion engine you have to clean out the surface of the rotor. On this ones you don't need to do that. So the next thing I'm gonna do right now is to install the caliper. So I use my hand first to get a few threads, then use a gun to drive it in all the way. So the next thing I'm gonna do is to torque, the caliper to 97 foot-pound. One more to make sure everything is good. 90, 90 degrees. Boom, boom. Everything checks out. So the next thing we're gonna do is to, as you can see, I'm trying to clean off any dirt on the surface of the push rod or the pin or whatever you want to call it. So I'm cleaning it off, making sure everything is clean, the both of them. You can see. So the next thing I'm gonna do right now after cleaning that is to use a grease, anti-squeak, grease to just to lube, where the brake pads seat. So as you can see, I did not apply too much, just a little, a fraction. So the next thing I'm gonna do is to install the brake pads. So I'm looking for the ones that that have the brake pads that has the proper facing. That's what I'm doing here. So that installed. The next thing I'm gonna do is to clean out the backing plate. So you install the top first. You can do the bottom first, either way. So once that is done, align it. Use your hammer to put in. Make sure it's flush. And once it's done, you spin the rotor to make sure there is no squeeze, no metal touching each other. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.